Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Jnana-timirandasya jnana-anjana-salakaya chakkara-nimiletam jena tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobishtam Stapitam Jana Bhutale Soyam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadati So Padam Tikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Juta Pada Kamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavanam Cha Sirupam Sagrajatam Sagana Siragunatam Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Saitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Radha Krishna Padam Sagana Laitam Sri Vishakam Vitam Cha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dina Bandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namastute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Rishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vancha kalpataruvasya kripa sindhuvaiva ca patitanam pavanabhyo vaishnavabhyo namo namah namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Prestaya Bhutale Srimati Bhakti Vedanta Swami iti namini Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Nirvishesha Sunyavadi Paśyata Desha Tarine Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. So Hare Krishna. So today we are going to discuss about the very important subject matter, that is 6 pitfalls of bhakti. Why it is important? 6 pitfalls of bhakti means that 6 principles that destroy bhakti, 6 principles that that is unfavorable to execute bhakti. Why it is important? Let me first of all share this YouTube. Why it is important? Because prema pumartha mahan, the purpose of human life is bhakti. So the purpose of human life is bhakti. Therefore, because at the present moment we are all rotting and rotating in this material world, undergoing repeated birth and death. So our main problem is, it is stated these beautiful verses that Bhaktivinoda Thakur is saying that the main problem of human form of life is that janma murtu jara vyadhi. The real problem of life is the repetition of birth and death, which is like a wheel rolling repeatedly up and down. This wheel, however, completely stops when one is in touch with Supreme Personality of Godhead. So our problem is the real problem of life is the repetition of birth. So the living entity is turning away from the Lord. He's suffering. He's undergoing a lot of klesha. Klesha means pain. There are 3 kinds of painful situations in the material world: adhyatmic klesha, adhidaivik, adhibhautik. The klesha means pain given by the body and mind, pain by others, pain by demigods. So this everybody, it is a concomitant factor. It is the intrinsic nature of the inherent nature of the material world. So everybody is undergoing, whether he is a president or is an aunt, is a rich person or a poor, is a prince or pauper. Everybody has to undergo this kind of trials and tribulations. Janma murtu jara vyadhi. So to stop this, therefore, very, very nice Bhaktivinoda Thakur say that Anadi, what is that? Chaitanya Mahaprabhu also say. Let's go to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu say also, Kṛṣṇa bhuli se jiva anadi bahirmukha teva maya tere de sansara dukha. Forgetting Kṛṣṇa, the living entity has been attracted by external feature from time immemorial. Therefore, the illusory energy Maya gives him all kind of misery in his material life. So everybody is suffering in this material world. Nobody can surpass, howsoever sophisticated environment, gorgeous arrangement when one can create by his economic development, by political maneuvering, by advancement of technology, by AI, artificial intelligence, one cannot surpass the birth, death, disease, old age. These are the obnoxious miseries. Therefore, the only way to stop this is by bhakti. Bhakti can stop this repetition of birth and death. As Kṛṣṇa says, Bhaktya mama vijananti javanja chasami tattva. In another verses also Kṛṣṇa says in Bhagavad Gita that by bhakti one can enter. Bhaktya tu ananya sakya aham eva vidya Arjuna jnatum dastum cha tattena praveshtum cha parantapa. My dear Arjuna, only by undivided devotional service can I be understood as I am, standing before you, can thus be seen directly. Only in this way can you enter into the mystery of my understanding. Also in other verses it also say that Bhaktya mama vijananti javanja chasami tatamam tattato ganta visati tadanantara. One can understand me as I am, as Supreme Personality of God, and only by devotional service. And when one is in full conscious of me by such devotion, he can enter into the kingdom. So bhakti is the only way one can stop this repetition of birth. One can stop all the misery. Anartha upasamam sakyat bhakti yoga dakyat. So it is stated in Bhagavatam also, all this anartha can be mitigated. The material misery of the living entity which are superfluous to him can be directly mitigated by linking process of devotional service. So devotional service is very important. Prema pumartama. But how to execute devotional service is important thing. Because there are pros and cons. There are favorable, there's unfavorable. While executing devotional service, there are some impediments. There are some pitfalls. So therefore, Rupa Goswami has, after scrutinizing all Shastra, he comes into the conclusion there are 6 kind of pitfalls or unfavorable, unfavorable for executing devotion, discharging devotional service. Unfavorable items. And 6 principles which is favorable, that we will be in the next class, we will be discussing. So let us know that what are the 6 impediments, because we must know the pros and cons. What is not working is working. Then we can get a success. We can come out success. So therefore, bhakti also, how Rupa Goswami, we are called Rupanuga, because we are so much indebted to Rupa Goswami. He is very, after scrutinizing Nana Shastra Vicharanika, after scrutinizingly examining, studying all the Shastra, so he has presented that what are the 6 pitfalls of bhakti. What are the 6 principles which is unfavorable for executing bhakti? So today we are going to discuss this chapter, and this is very important, because sometimes we say that we are executing bhakti, but it is not improving. We are not advancing. We are in very beginner stage, neophyte stage. We are not advancing in bhakti. Whole idea to get success. Every endeavor ends with success. That is the perfection of life. So, but because of some kind of process we are not following, therefore it is impeding. It stands as a stumbling block in advancing us in Krishna consciousness or bhakti. Therefore, Rupa Goswami has pointed out in Nectar of Instruction that what are the 6 principles that holding back us, that stagnated our bhakti, that stigmatize, that jeopardize even. It destroys the bhakti also. So that is very important to know. Anything you should know what the pros and cons. We cannot just like blindly, sentimentally execute bhakti. No, that is utpaideva kalpate. Shruti smriti puranadi pancharatrika vidivina aikanthika harer bhakti utpaideva kalpate. So our bhakti has to be backed by the proper scriptural injunction. Otherwise, we cannot achieve success in bhakti. Sometimes it destroys even our bhakti. Although we are thinking, oh, I am doing bhakti, but it destroys imperceptibly even. Therefore, we should follow the acharyas, their instruction, scriptural injunction. Tadera charana sebi bhakta sane bas, janame janame moro ehi avilas. So Narottam Das Thakur say our whole idea, whole mission of Hare Krishna movement to following the footstep of Acharya in the association of devotees, then success is guaranteed. Otherwise, if you try to concord, this is bhakti, that is bhakti, I will do as per my convenience, as for the advice of any of my devotee or the advice of my friend, advice of some other things. No, we will not get success. We will not. We will miss the boss. We will miss the chance of going back to Godhead. Therefore, it is imperative for every aspirant, every practitioner, sadhana bhakti, those who are practicing sadhana bhakti, must know the pros and cons, what are the 6 principles that impede our bhakti, so that we will be very cautious and careful and avoid these things while practicing bhakti. So what is that? That Atyāhāraḥ prayāsaś prajalpo Niyamāgrahaḥ jana-saṅgaś laulyaṁ ṣaḍbhir bhakti vinaśyati. Vinaśyati means destroy. The 6 principles. What are the principles? Atyāhāraḥ means overeating and too much of collecting. One's devotional service is spoiled when he becomes too entangled in the following 6 activities: eating more than necessary or collecting more fond than required, over endeavoring for mundane things that are very difficult to obtain, talking unnecessary about mundane subject matter, practicing the spiritual rules and regulation for only for the sake of following them, not for the sake of spiritual advancement, or rejecting the rules and regulation of this and working independently or whimsically, associating worldly minded persons who are not interested in Krishna consciousness, being greedy for mundane achievement. The 6th thing is very, very, there are pitfalls, there are shortcomings, there are stumbling blocks in the path of bhakti. So let us analyze one by one. Eating more than necessary or collecting more fond than required. So this is very important. How Judge Banarsa say, your just eating, your eating process also affects our consciousness. Eating should be as much as required, because the tongue is most voracious. It is said that out of all these things, all this organ, the tongue is very, very voracious, uncontrollable. Although one may conquer all of the senses, as long as tongue is not conquered, it cannot be said that one has controlled his sense. However, one is able to control the tongue, then one is understood to be full control of senses. See, eating is a human rituals, is a universal human rituals. Everybody has to eat. Annad bhavanti bhutani. But here it is said that tongue is very unconquerable. If we eat more than necessary, then there is a problem. Overeating is a problem, is an impediment for the bhakti. So it is said that in this Chaitanya Mahaprabhu say that no. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu quoted a very nice verse. Yes. He said that, so in this 225 and 223 also, say that if a renounce it, or not only renounce it, is a 223 also, the previous verses. This is a jivhelo lalasa. Why in this world? 6227. Jivhero lalasa iti uti dhaye sisnodhara prayana parayana Kṛṣṇa nahi paye. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu quoted these verses to Raghunath Das Goswami. One who is subservient to the tongue, who goes here and there devoted to genitals, the belly cannot attain Kṛṣṇa. Because overeating is a problem. By overeating, one is bringing, one cannot the devotional service, he cannot awakening his devotional service. Kṛṣṇa nahi paye. Sisnodhara parayana Kṛṣṇa nahi paye. Because this belly and the tongue, the belly and the genitals in a very straight line. Tongue is uncontrollable. When you take more overeating, it will pressure the belly and it goes down and it will become or it will create a sex impulses or which is a impediment for our bhakti. So therefore overeating is completely prohibited. As much as required one should eat. Prabhupada also in the purport, he say that Atyāhāraḥ prayāsaś, say Atyāhāraḥ means eating more than necessary. One should not collect more than necessary for his actual basis. If this natural principle is followed, there will be no difficulty in maintaining the body. According to nature arrangement, living entity lower on the evolution scale do not eat or collect more than necessary. Collecting also more than necessary is not good. As much as one required. Atyāhāraḥ, more collecting. What is the necessary of more collecting? Isavasyam idam sarvam. Yana say that everybody has his own quota. One should not collect more. So animal kingdom, there is no scarcity of that. But whereas human being is very greedy, however, will take away the whole bag. He will eat all his stomach can hold, then try to keep the rest in store. According to the scripture, this collecting more than necessary Atyāhāraḥ is prohibited. Now the entire world is suffering because of it. Collecting and eating more than necessary also causes prayāsaś or unnecessary endeavor, because you want to collect more money. You want to Atyāhāraḥ means you want to collect more money, means you have to over endeavor. You have to work a lot more than necessity. So in this way, we will be entangled actually. One should not be work more than what is necessary, unnecessary wasting time, because our whole life, Jivesya, he say that our whole life is meant to tattva jigyasa. Kamasya nendriya piti lava jive jav jivasya tattva jigyasa na arthayasya karma bihi. So life desire should never be aimed by gratifying sense. One should desire to live only because human life enables one to inquire about the absolute truth. So we should live a very simple living. High thinking means to inquire about the spiritual life, not that over endeavoring. As far as maintenance is concerned, he say that according to our destiny, it will come automatically. We do not have to bother about it. Automatically it will come. Therefore, Shastra say one should not endeavor for more, because it automatically come according to our karma. According to our karma, automatically it will come. Tasya bhayeta praiteta ko vidala labhyate yad brahmatma uparyadda tal labhyate dukkhabad anyatha sukham kalena sarvata gavira ramaso. So here it is say that person who are actually intelligent and philosophically inclined should endeavor only for that purposeful which is not obtainable even by wandering from topmost planet down to the lowest planet. As far as happiness is derived from sense, it can be obtained automatically in course of time, just as in course of time we obtain misery even though we do not desire. So therefore, you should not be over-endeavor, because human life should not be wasted unnecessary. Sarma evai kevalam. So-called your occupational duty to earn so much money is sarma evai kevalam. It's just waste of time, because human life is meant to understand spiritual life, spiritual value, and go back to Godhead. Stop these miseries, the repetition of birth and death. So therefore, one should not over-endeavor as much as required. Basic needs. Basic needs is important, otherwise nothing much. Therefore, it is stated that dharmasya apavargasya na artha artha upakalpate. All occupational engagement are certainly meant for ultimate liberation. They should never be performed for material gain. Because you want to collect more money, eat more money, you have to hoarding more bank balance. I want 100,000, 200,000, 500,000, 1 million. So therefore, we have to prayāsaḥ. We cannot get the money from the sky. It won't fall. We have to work hard. This prayāsaḥ, the what you say, this prayāsaḥ means that over-endeavoring is not. Our over-endeavoring must be so for Bhagavatam, over-endeavoring for spiritual life, spiritual practice, not for over-endeavoring for material things. That is destroying. That is not good actually. Our work should culminate to the point of bhakti. That is real thing. Nehat karma dharmaya na vairagya kalpate na tittapad sevai jivanapi murtahisa. Anyone whose work is not meant to elevate himself to religious life, anyone whose religious ritualistic performance do not raise him to renunciation, anyone situated in renunciation that does not lead to him devotional service to the Supreme Personality of Godhead, must be considered dead although he is breathing. So whole our work should be meant to culminate to the point of devotional service. So over-endeavoring unnecessary is completely prohibited in scriptures. Therefore, Rishabhadev also say that Rishabhacha nayam deha dehbhajam niloke kastam kaman arati vidbujam jo. You should not work like a hog and dog. They are working very hard. Where is it? Where is food? Where is that? Our duty is to tapadivyam putrika jena sattam suddhate jasmat brahma sukyam anantam. So Lord Rishabhadev told his son that, my dear boys, of all living entity who have accepted the material body in this world, one who has been awarded human form of life, particularly human form of life, should not work hard day and night simply for sense gratification, which is available even for the dogs and hogs, that is true. One should engage in penance, austerity to attain divine position of devotional service. By such activity, one's heart is purified. When one attains this position, he attains eternal blissful life, which is transcendental to the material happiness, which continues forever. That is the point Rupa Goswami making. Atyāhāraḥ, over-collecting, overeating. I want to bank balance, augment my bank balance, ameliorating my material conditioning. I have iPhone 17, iPhone 14, iPhone 18, iPhone 19. I have these all unnecessary requirement, artificial necessity. Actually, this is not necessary. Self-preservation only. Simple living, high thinking. Not high living, simple thinking. For that, we have to make so much endeavor. Day and night, day working hard, waste our time. Because without money, we cannot get anything. Money is but you do not know that money is a problem. So collecting more money also, you say that is a problem. See, you say that wealth is a perpetual source of distress. It is most difficult to acquire. It is virtual death for the soul. Therefore, what satisfaction does one actually gain from his wealth? Similarly, how can one enjoy any genuine happiness from those things that are gained or maintained by one's hard-earned money, such as home, children, relative, domestic animals, since they are all temporary? We do not know that. These are all temporary. We cannot maintain the status quo. We cannot get anything with us. Therefore, it is impediment. It is not favorable. It is a pitfall for bhakti. So therefore, over-endeavoring, it is totally not. The sadhus, they do not do that. There's a verse is there. The sadhus, they do not, let's see, a saintly person should not think this food I will keep to eat tonight and this other food I can save for tomorrow. In other words, saintly person should not store food acquired by begging. Rather, he should use his own hand as his plate and eat whatever they fit on them. His only storage container should be his belly. Whatever they conveniently fit into the belly should be the stock of food. Thus, one should not imitate the greedy honeybee who eagerly collects more money, more and more money. See, this is called Atyāhāraḥ, unnecessary Atyāhāraḥ, prayasaś also. A saintly mendicant should not even collect food to eat later in the same day or the next day. If he disregards this injunction, like a honeybee collects more and more delicious food, that which he has collected will endure in him. A very nice example of honeybee is given in this previous verse. So honeybee is very greedy, is very Atyāhāraḥ. So Atyāhāraḥ, he wanted to food stock everything, but what happened? He died. He died. He died. Therefore, it says that human life is not a saintly person should accept only enough food to keep his body and soul together. He should go from door to door accepting just a little bit of food from each family. Thus, he should practice the occupation of bumblebee. A bumblebee only goes as much as he required from a flower, take the honey. But another disadvantage is honeybee is collecting more money. Laulyaṁ, that we will discuss also. This is also impediment. Unnecessary over collecting greedy with so much honey. At finally, this found the main cup and take away all the honey, all his collection. So therefore, Atyāhāraḥ prayasaś is not good. And more you over endeavoring, more distress will come. So many bad things will come. There's a beautiful verses are there in this regard. It says that 7:31-27, I think. 13:27. So it is stated here that the over endeavoring is not good. Over endeavoring is not at all good. The Brahmana, I am actually seeing how a rich man who is a victim of his sense is very greedy to accumulate wealth, therefore suffers from insomnia due to from all sides despite his wealth and opulence. You cannot sleep also. So on first main thing is this, these are the side effects. Main thing is that you are wasting time. Time and tide never wait for anybody. Any moment the life will, the human form of life can be lost. Therefore, before it loses, we should endeavor for our success, our right interest. Self-interest means real interest to execute Kṛṣṇa consciousness. This is the benefit, our self-interest, self-benefit. So therefore, Atyāhāraḥ prayasaś is not good actually. Because of Atyāhāraḥ, prayasaś comes and prayasaś kills our time, energy, everything unnecessary. And finally, we do not get anything. So much other problems, so much reach, so much over-accumulation, tension, stress, insomnia, so many things are there. It's Shastra says that. Then next we will go to the third subject matter, third impediments, pitfalls. Atyāhāraḥ prayasaś, prajalpo. Prajalpo is important. The prajalpo means idle talk. Idle talk is not good at all. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu say that Gramya Katha na sunive, Gramya Katha na kaive. So idle talk unnecessary kills your time. These are also impediment, prajalpa. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has ग्राम्य कथा ना सुनिबे ग्राम्य कथा ना कहिबे चैतन्य महाप्रभु say that ग्राम्य व्रत ना कहिबे भलो ना खाइबे और भलो ना पारिबे. Do not talk like people in general or hear what they say. You should not eat very palatable food, nor should you dress very nicely. So why Chaitanya Mahaprabhu say that? Because these are the impediments, unnecessary talk, ideal talk, that will distract our mind and waste our time. The gossiping, this gossiping is not there. Therefore, in devotee association, Krishna say in the association of devotee, what is happening? The symptoms of association of devotee is given in this beautiful verses, that madajita matagata prana bodhoyanti parasparam kathantacha mam nityam tushyanti ja ramanti cha. Devotee association means thought of my pure devotee dwell in their lives or surrender to me. They derive great satisfaction, bliss, enlightening one another, conversing about me. Real devotee association symptoms is that always talking about spiritual things, because talking about the unnecessary, about politics, sociology, IPL match, cricket, these, that, all the things, wasting time. Mostly neophyte are attracted to all the things, scrolling, only scrolling, and they're talking also because they have seen some videos, interesting video, and they have to talk on that video to other devotees. Other devotees also very matching. If they are interested, they are very good match. Very good match. They will talk, endless talk. When two people come together, there's always the idle talk, gossip is going on. So, but here it is say that these are the prohibited. That is impediment for our advancement. That will distract our mind. Our mind is like a capture, like a CCTV, camera, like powerful camera. It captures all the things, all the information, and it will come out. It will block our thought process, remembering Kṛṣṇa. So much traffic, make a traffic. Do not make a traffic. Kṛṣṇa say, Manmana Bhava Madhavakta, 24 hours, 24/7, think of me. How can I think of me? I have so many thoughts, storage in my head. So therefore, the prajalpa, gossip, not only wasting time, impediment, unnecessary waste of time. Therefore, Prabhupada has made a very nice Krishna consciousness movement for giving opportunity for association with devotee. So it is said that paraspara anukathanam pavanam bhagavata jasaha. One should learn how to associate with devotee of the Lord by gathering with them to chant glories of the Lord. This process is most purifying. So therefore, the Sunday love which Prabhupada made it so that we can have good association, so that we won't waste our time. In another verses, it is said that in the assembly of devotees, there should not be any politics, sociology, all the talk. Who are the pure devotee mentioned here? In an assembly of pure devotee, there is no question of discussing material subject like politics, sociology. In assembly of pure devotee, the discussion only the quality, form, pastime of Supreme Personality of Godhead. His praise, worship with full attention. By constantly hearing such topics respectfully, even a person who wants to merge in the existence of Absolute Truth, abandon his idea, gradually become attached to the service of the Absolute. That is the effect. Otherwise, prajalpa is totally not good. The tongue is say that the tongue is very bad. Tongue is say that in this beautiful verse, that one who has not listened to the message about the prowess of marvelous act of the personality of Godhead, has not sung or chanted loudly worthy song about the Lord, is to be considered a possess of ear holes like a holes of snake, and tongue like a tongue of a frog. Frog also talking, making a sound, talking, quack, quack, croaking, by croaking, he is inviting death, inviting snakes. Snakes cannot see. Snakes see by hearing. So snakes comes and over. So therefore, on use of tongue is also very important. One should not unnecessarily invite the death by talking gossip, wasting time. Ayur harati by punsam udyam astam chanesu. Every sunrise and sunset, we are reducing one day of our life. Life is reduced, dragged toward death. Only person who is talking, gossiping about Kṛṣṇa is important. Chanakya Pandit say one should morning gossip about the gossip about the googly, that is called googly. What is that he told? You should gossip about the woman. What is woman? Ramayana. Ramayana is all about woman, Sita. Sita, and they are the central character, Sita and Supnaka, Sita, then this one, all this woman character is very prominent in the Ramayana. So we should discuss about Ramayana. And Mahabharata, in the afternoon we should discuss gossip about the gambling, because Mahabharata gambling is there. You should study Mahabharata. And the end you should discuss about the stealing, because Kṛṣṇa Katha is there. Kṛṣṇa is Navanita Choram, Braje Prasidham Navanita Choram. So we should pass only gossiping. Otherwise, only gossiping about Kṛṣṇa or talking about Kṛṣṇa. Otherwise, it is like a tongue of a frog. It's not good, actually. So after these three things, then we can go to the, what is the fourth pitfall impediment? Atyāhāraḥ, overeating, over collecting, over endeavoring, gossiping, prajalpo, idle talk, Niyamāgrahaḥ. This is very important. Niyamāgrahaḥ means follow the rules and regulations for the sake of following, not for the advancement. Rules and regulation has to be followed. But if you follow the rules and regulation of the Shastra simply for the sake of, just like Hindu, in Hindu religions or every religion, there is some ceremonies. So everybody should follow the ceremony. But simply following the ceremonies, not evaluating or not progressing in spiritual lives, then it is simply waste of time. So therefore it is said that we should follow the rules and regulations, not for the sake of following it. Also, we should not, another meaning is that Niyamāgrahaḥ, we should not neglect also. We should not neglect. Neglecting is not good. Ye Shastra Vidhi Uschate Vartate Kam. Kṛṣṇa say, if you neglect these rules and regulation, it's not good. You cannot get such success. Ye Shastra Vidhi Uschate Vartate Kam Karta na sa siddhim apapnoti na sukham na param gati. But he who discards scriptural injunctions and act according to his own whims attains neither perfection nor happiness nor supreme destination. So therefore, our thing, we should not neglect it, but we should not follow it just for the sake of following. So there are rules and regulations is there also. We have also rules and regulations in Krishna consciousness. How Prabhupada given that rules and regulation has been given. Prabhupada say that from this we can understand that how we have to be very cautious in executing our spiritual duty by observing rules and regulations, regularly chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra. If we neglect doing this, we will eventually fall down. We must rise early in the morning, bathe, attend Mangalarti, worship the deities, chant Hare Krishna mantra, study Vedic literature, follow all the rules prescribed by Acharya and the spiritual master. If we deviate from this process, we may fall down, even though we may be very highly advanced. So we may fall down. Therefore, we should not neglect. At the same time, we should not follow for the sake of just following, or just official following, not advancing. That is called Niyamāgrahaḥ. Then this is the fourth impediment, pitfalls. Fourth pillar of unfavorable. Then finally, it is said that and associating with worldly minded person who are not interested in Krishna consciousness, that is very important. Judge Banarsa say that you are judged by your association. In our Krishna consciousness, association is very, very important. If you associate with a worldly minded person, it will develop the urge for these material things. When we associate with a spiritually person, it will associate, because association react. Just like a fire, iron is associated with fire. Iron imbibe the quality of fire. Similarly, when you associate worldly mind person, you imbibe their quality. That is very dangerous. Very dangerous. Therefore, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu say the first principle of Vaishnavism is that association. Asatsanga tyagai Vaishnavacharya. This is the first basic principle, basic conduct. The fundamental principle of Vaishnavism is that asatsanga tyaga. You should not associate with worldly minded persons. Who are the worldly minded persons? Three sangi eka asadhu Kṛṣṇa bhaktara. There are two kind of asadhu, two kind of worldly minded. For Vaishnava, the standard behavior is to avoid association of ordinary people, not interested in Kṛṣṇa bhakti. Such common people are first those who are too materially attached. Worldly minded person are materially attached. And they talks always about the how to ameliorate, how to augment their bank balance, all the things, unnecessary talk, especially to the women, and second, people who are not at all devotee of Krishna. Vaishnavas should avoid the company of these two kind of people. So we should not, worldly minded person, they're talking about two things, money and women. Two things are their favorite subject matter. On the other hand, people who are not devotees of the Lord, they are also useless. We should not also associate with Mayavadis. They are all a bhakta. Krishna bhakta only. All these Mayavadis, this atheists, and the yogis and all, you should not associate with them. They are sakare, they are kami, they are desire. They have some desire. It is stated that all people has got some desire. Mukti mukti siddhi kami sakali asanta. Krishna bhakta niskama ateva santa. Mukti mukti siddhi kami sakali asanta. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said to Rupa Goswami, because the devotee of Krishna is desireless, is peaceful. Fruity worker desire material enjoyment, Jnani desire liberation, Yogi desire material upliftment. Therefore, they are all lusty, cannot be peaceful. So you should not associate with them also. Association is so important. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu go on saying that better to be surrounded by, better to be surrounded by, in next 2-3 verses he say that by association with worldly people, one becomes devoid of truthfulness, cleanliness, mercy, gravity, spiritual and intelligence, shyness, austerity, fame, forgiveness, control of the mind, control of the sense, fortune, and all opportunity. One should not at any time associate with a scornful who is bereft of knowledge, self-realization, and who is no more than a toy animal in the hands of women. The illusion and bondage that acquire men from attachment to any other object are not as complete as that resulting from association with a woman or with men to attach to women. This is verse from the Bhagavatam. So he quoted these verses, and then he quoted another verses, very important. Baram huta baha jolo. So he say that better to be, say it is better to accept the miseries of being encaged within bars, surrounded by burning flame, than to associate with those bereft of Krishna consciousness. Such association is very greatly hardship. See, he quoted this verse. One should not even see those who are bereft of devotional service in Krishna consciousness, who are therefore devoid of pious activities. So therefore, one should not associate with worldly minded. We will lost everything, as it is said that we will lost our self-control, our opportunity, our fortune, everything. How dangerous to associate with worldly minded people. So these are very impediment for our devotional service. It is stated in another verses, Bhagavatam. He says that one should never associate with materialistic, those dedicated to gratifying their genitals and belly. By following them, one falls into deepest pit of darkness, just like a blind man who follows another blind. How dangerous the association is, very, very important. Tadera charana, tandera charana sevi bhakta sane bas. Bhakta sane bas. Krishna consciousness means bhakta sane bas, in associating with devotees only. Otherwise, our bhakti will be destroyed. So this is the fifth pitfalls. Then finally, the last one is laulyaṁ. Laulyaṁ means greedy for mundane things, greedy for achieving, greedy for mundane achievement. I want this much more, This greedy is very, very impediments. So 3 way to get. Krishna say Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita that Trividham narakesham dvaram nasamatmana kama krodha tatha lobho. The lobho is greediness. Kama means lust. Krodho means angry. These are all impediments. These are three gates leading to hell: lust, anger, greed. Every sane man should give these up, or they lead to the degradation of soul. So laulyaṁ means unnecessary loving, unnecessary greedy for mundane things. This is not good. As I showed you this word, the saintly person will never. They should follow like bumblebees. Just like bumblebees. The saintly sorry, 11:8. A saintly person should accept only enough food to keep his body and soul. He should go from door to door accepting little bit food for each family. Thus, he should practice occupation of bumblebee. So, he should not be greedy. Greedy is not laulyaṁ. Just as a bumblebee takes nectar from all flowers, big and small, an intelligent human being should take the essence from all religious scriptures. Yes. So, the greedy will be. So, here it is said that this saintly person should not think this food I will keep to eat tonight, this other food I can save more tomorrow. In other words, saintly person should not store food acquired by begging, rather he should use his own hand, his plate, eat whatever it fits them. Only storage container should be his belly. Whatever conveniently fit into his belly should be his stock of food. Thus, one should not imitate greedy honeybee who eagerly collects more and more money. So, one should not. More and more money one should not. Unnecessary. These are impediments. Laulyaṁ. Laulyaṁ is not good actually. So Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati says that the two type of bees, bumblebee, who collect nectar from flowers but do not make money, do not make honey, and honeybees, who manufacture honey in the beehive. This verse refers to the honeybee. The greedy honeybee eventually collects so much honey that he is trapped in his hive. In the same way, a materialistic person becomes trapped under the burden of unnecessary material accumulation. One who is interested in making spiritual progress should avoid such a situation. However, Srila Bhaktivedanta Saraswati Thakur points out that for the purpose of spreading Krishna consciousness, one may accumulate unlimited amount of material opulence. For us, we are collecting money. Sometimes they criticize. We do for Yukta Vairagya, for the sake of Krishna, we can do it. This is called Yukta Vairagya, or using everything in the service of Krishna. Saintly person who is unable to work in the Lord Chaitanya mission should practice austerity, collect only what can be held in his hand and belly. However, one who has given his life to Krishna may collect unlimitedly on the Lord Krishna's behalf. In fact, without acquiring material opulence, how is it possible to spread the Krishna consciousness movement all over the world? But if one tries personally enjoy the funds and facility acquired from the missionary activity of the Krishna consciousness movement, he commits the greatest offense. Therefore, even in the name of the Lord Krishna, one should collect only what he can immediately engage in practical devotional service. Otherwise, one will fall down to platform of ordinary greediness. See, greediness also in spiritual platform also you should be careful. Not that we should more than necessary. You should not do that. Otherwise, one will fall down. Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati says. So one should be very careful. The greediness, one will fall down, accumulating so much money. So these are the 7 things. Very 6 pitfalls are there, which is very important. One should avoid. Let us summarize all the things. Atyāhāraḥ means over collecting, overeating. These are the impediments. Overeating will over collecting and overeating will distract us from the path of devotional service. Prayāsaḥ, it causes prayāsaḥ, over endeavoring, wasting time. Prajalpa means unnecessary idle talk. Niyamāgrahaḥ, to follow the rules and regulations for the sake of following, not for improving. And also should not neglect the rules and regulations. Jana-saṅgaḥ, the association is very important. Laulyaṁ, greedy. One should not be greedy, otherwise one will fall down. So these 6 things are very important. These are the things which destroy the bhakti. So therefore, in the purport also Prabhupada say that, so one should be very careful to follow this rigidly, all this, avoid these 6 things. He say very nice in the purport. Modern warfare waged between capital and communist is due to their avoiding the advice of Srila Rupa Goswami regarding Atyāhāraḥ. Modern capitalists accumulate more wealth than necessary. The communists, envious of their prosperity, want to nationalize all wealth and property. Unfortunately, communists do not know how to solve the problem of wealth and its distribution. Consequently, when the wealth of the capitalist falls in the hand of communists, no solution results. Opposed to these two philosophies, the Krishna consciousness ideology state that all wealth belongs to Krishna. Unless all wealth comes under the administration of Krishna, there can be no solution to the economic problem of mankind. Nothing can be solved by the placing wealth in the hand of the communist or the capitalist. If $100 bill is lying on the street, someone may pick it up and put it in his pocket. Such a man is not honest. Another man may see money and decide to let it remain there, thinking that he should not touch another property. Although the second man does not steal the money for his own purpose, he is unaware of its proper use. The third man who sees the $100 bill may pick it up, find the man who lost it, deliver it to him. This man does not steal the money but to spend for himself, nor does he neglect it. Let it lie in the street. By taking it and delivering it to the man who has lost it, this man is both honest and wise. Simply transferring the wealth from capitalist to communist cannot solve the problem of modern politics. For it has been demonstrated that when a communist gets money, he uses it for his own sense gratification. The wealth of the world actually belongs to Krishna. Every living entity, man and animal, has the birthright to use God's property for his maintenance. So whatever the request, Prabhupada very nicely explained, Isabhasam idam sama yat kincha jagatayam jagat. As much as required, one should do that. Otherwise, unnecessary collecting money will causes Atyāhāraḥ, prayāsaś, over endeavoring, unnecessary endeavor and waste our time. So Prabhupada has said that every intelligent man should purify his consciousness, rid himself of the above mentioned 6 hindrance to devotional service by taking wholehearted shelter of this Krishna consciousness. The 6 things are important. Hindrance, they're stumbling blocks, impediments to devotional service. Therefore, one should avoid that carefully by taking up seriously Krishna consciousness. So therefore, devotee and should avoid all the things, unnecessary wasting time, over endeavoring for more money, more bank balance. No. So thank you very much. So one should follow our ambition, our aspiration should be simply following the Acharya's footsteps. Rupa Goswami has given the solution that one should avoid these 6 things. Then one can easily progress in Krishna consciousness. Thank you very much. Mantrasya Bhagavatam ki jai. Offering bhogo is equal to offering prayer at the altar for the spiritual master Krishna. In terms of seva, can you recite the prayers in Bhagavatam Gita in the altar? But that Prabhu is offering bhogo is equal to offering prayers at the altar for the spiritual master and Krishna. So offering prayer and offering bhogo is different. I mean, in a way, it is same that you are offering bhogo means prasad, offering the bhogo to Krishna and Prabhupada, spiritual master, and offering prayer in the altar also good. If you cannot offer the bhogos, prasadam, Krishna says that patram pushpam phalam tam jami bhaktya pravachati. You can offer something, little leaf, water, fruits. So it is good. That is bhakti. And but you have to take prasadam. Therefore, you should offer prasadam, then take prasadam. Now, how can you take prasadam? You offer. Prabhu is offering both equal, bhogo equal to offering prayer at the altar for spiritual master and Krishna. In terms of seva, can one recite prayers in Bhagavatam and Gita and the altar? Very good. Prabhupada says this is the bandhanam. This is what one should do actually. One should pray Krishna while doing service. Prabhupada is given very nice example. He was giving example of the where Yashoda Maiya, Damodar Lila. In Damodar Lila, Yashoda Maiya is singing Ani Aniya Charitani. Beautiful verses 10, 11, 18, I think. Sorry, 10, 11, 2. Is it? Or 1? 10, 10. beautiful verses where Ani Aniya Charitani. So this where is this verse? So it is said that Damodar Lila, Draupadi, Josoda Maya is churning butter, at the same time is singing the glories of the Lord. That is also kind of prayers, glorifying. So there are Bhagavatam prayers. This Bhagavad Gita, so many prayers is there. One should pray. That pleases the Lord. Nectar of devotion. It is said that whenever you comes before the spiritual master, before the deity, one should chant loudly the glorification of the Lord through a scriptural verses. That is nectar of devotion. Rupa Goswami say. Prabhupada also say in the purport of what is that 10.8.1 Damodar Lila, forgetting Ani Aniya Charitanisa. In this 10, yeah, this is the verse. Ekada grihadasi sujasada nanda gahini karmantara niruktasa nirmantata swayam jadi yani ha gitani tad bala charitani sa. So Prabhupada has given a very nice things that Prabhupada say that while churning the butter, Mother Josoda was singing about the childhood activity of Kṛṣṇa. It was formerly a custom that if one wanted to remember something constantly, would transfer into the poetry or have this done by a professional poet. It appeared that Mother Josoda did not want to forget Kṛṣṇa's activity at any time. Therefore, she poeticized all the Kṛṣṇa childhood activities, such as killing of Putana, Aghasur, Sakatasur, Tinabhat, while churning the butter, saying about this activity in a poetical form. This should be in the practice of person eager to remain in Kṛṣṇa consciousness 24 hours a day. Incidents show that how Kṛṣṇa consciousness Mother Josoda was. To stay in Kṛṣṇa consciousness, one should follow such a person. Same thing, we should always chant these verses. Prayers, Kunti prayer, this prayer, so many wonderful prayers. Bhagavatam is full of prayers. Bhagavad Gita also important prayer. Param Brahma, Paramadhama, Pavitram, Paramam Bhavan, Purusam, Sahasrastam, Divyam, Adidevam, Adam. So many prayers are there. So this should be done before the altar. So thank you very much. Hare Krishna. Jai Srila Prabhupada.